Hello. Are we live? Have we got anybody in the room? I don't know. Hello, anybody.
Hello.
This is Ellen, Marta. Daisy the cat is having a siesta at the moment. Exactly. Hello, everybody. And I'm wondering where you are. Where are you? If you can type in your location, that would be really nice. I'd like to know where you are. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, who knows? We're going to be talking to ourselves. Very good. Okay, and where do you think we are? I think Marta is a better indication of where we are than me. Hello, Shamai.
Hola, ¿qué tal estáis?
Exactly. I say hello, Shamai, and Marta says
Hola. Hola, amigos.
So there we go. I think you've probably got it, that I'm from Wales. This is Marta, and she's from Spain. And where are we? ¿Dónde estamos?
Barcelona.
Barcelona. We're in Spain, in Barcelona.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Oh, here we go. Claire is in sunny Merthyr Tydfil. Yeah, it's sunny in Barcelona too, Claire.
Hello, Claire.
I wonder where everyone else is. I'm sure you're somewhere very exciting. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is right. Let me share my screen. Hang on a second. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. I hope this is... No, I'm not sure if you can see that. I hope so. And so today, you're joining me, Ellen, Daisy the cat, but she's having a siesta, I think. You know what a siesta is, right? Even though you're speaking Spanish when you say that. And of course, Marta. And,
Hello.
and today we are going to think about global interconnectivity. What does it matter? Why does it matter that Marta lives in Spain, that I'm from Wales, but I live in Spain too, that Daisy, well, she's also Spanish, actually, Catalan, Basque, but then my necklace is from Brazil. My top is from Japan. Marta's hat is from Donosti. Is it Donosti?
Sí.
San Sebastian in the north of Spain. Looks a bit French, don't you think? I think she looks quite French.
Sí, pourquoi pas?
Da, da, da. Okay, and we're also going to think about mixed views about climate change. Why are there such mixed views about climate change? And we're going to think about taking action with the environmental warriors. Okay, I'm just going to check that you can see this. Claire, can you just let me know if you can see my slides? I'm hoping so.
There's nothing being shown at the moment.
Oh, there's nothing being shown. Okay, that's good to know.
No hemos empezado.
Sí, pero no se puede ver. So you can just see me and Marta?
Yes, and a very fetching hat.
It's lovely, isn't it? Okay, well, what I'll do then, before we share the slides, we won't worry about sharing the slides. More important that we think about, okay, so we've talked about different countries. We're all connected, right? I'm sure all of you have got friends from different countries. Daisy, oh, Daisy, are you really called Daisy? My cat is called Daisy. What a wonderful name. She's from Carmarthenshire. Oh, hello.
Daisy.
Yeah, so it's not only Daisy the cat. Very good. Nice to meet you. So yeah, we can see that it's really important that people in different countries are in contact with each other. And so we're going to have a think about how that impacts our lives. For example, the clothes we wear, the jewelry we wear, the hats we wear. So the first thing I would like you to do today, shame I can't see you, but I would like you to run off and find food from a different country. I bet you've got food from a different country in your kitchen. The first thing you find that is from a different country. 3, 2, 1, go. ¿Quieres coger el bichi de la cocina?
¿Qué bici?
Hay bichi catalán que está en el suelo. We're going to see if we... Oh, there we go. There goes Marta. What's she going to find? Have we found anything? Put it up in the chat box if you found anything. And here we go. Marta has found some Vichy Catalan. I don't know if you know this, but it's delicious. It's fizzy water from Spain, from Catalonia, where we are
From
in Barcelona.
Catalonia.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Claire's got some red wine from the USA. Well done, Claire. Fantastic. Lovely. But most important. Red vines or wines? Is that the German coming out in you? I wonder. Okay, and now I'd like you to run and see if you can find an item of clothing or jewelry from another country. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so we got something from another country. Maybe a beret. Well, it looks French, Marta's hat. It looks like a French beret, but it's not actually French. It's Basque.
But it's like the French
Yes,
beret.
yeah, exactly. You say beret. We say beret. In French, how would you say it?
Beret.
Okay, there you go. Her French is very good, as you can see. Oh, Claire's T-shirt was made in India and printed in England. Very good. Thank you very much, Claire. Excellent. Daisy, I wonder whether you've managed to find anything. Got any food or drinks or clothes or jewelry? Who knows? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so the point is that we can see that the world is totally interconnected. We talk to people from different places, we speak different languages, we buy clothes from different places. It's all really, really closely interconnected. But why is that an issue, and why do we need to think a little bit more deeply about it? Well, in my opinion, it's because we're taking it a little bit we're too relaxed about it. I would like to show you my slides. Let's try one more time because I would like you to see something. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Okay. Hopefully, I think this is going well. I think now you can see them, I do believe. Yes, you can. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, like I just said, we're thinking today about global interconnectivity. We're thinking about mixed views on what climate change. Why do people have such different opinions? And we're going to think about how we can take action with the environmental warriors. So global interconnectivity, we've done this. We've thought about our clothes and food and where things are from. So if you look at your computer or your mobile phone, where do you think it's from? Where are all the bits and pieces from? They're from all over the place, right? So what about all this plastic? How did that get there? So this beach is, here we've got India, here we've got Myanmar and Thailand, Bangladesh, and here is this island that we can see on this slide. How many people do you think live on this island? How big is it? Well, it's tiny. It's 1 kilometer squared. You probably know miles better than kilometers, and a mile is much bigger than a kilometer. And this is 1 kilometer squared. Population 0. There's nobody there. So where on earth did all that plastic come from? That's why we need to be thinking about interconnectivity, global interconnectivity, because the waters move around the world. This is a nice little simplified version of how they move from ocean to ocean. So we've got the Indian Ocean, we've got the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and when the water is warm, it travels like this, and when it's cold, it sinks and it moves like this. So you can see that for different reasons, the water is moving around the globe and, unfortunately, carrying the plastic around well, not only the plastic, that's just one example, but you can see how we're all really closely linked. And so what we're going to do now is Magic Marta is going to do it. She's going to do a couple of experiments to think about how the water moves around the globe.
Ya veréis.
So there are two things. The map that we just looked at said thermohaline circulation. What's thermohaline circulation? Let's think first of all, haline. How do you say, ¿cómo se dice sal en castellano?
Sal.
Sal.
Salt. Salt in English.
Salt is sal. I wonder how you say it in Welsh. How do you say salt in Welsh? My Welsh is not good enough. I can't. Claire, do you know how to say salt in Welsh? I wonder.
I have a
Anyway.
It's sal as
You-
well. I'm not really.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
sal.
really-
Yeah. Yeah. But in some languages, it's more, or in chemistry anyway, it's to do with haline. And if you noticed on that map before, it said thermohaline circulation, haline being the salt aspect of it.
I
And
was
this is what
wrong.
Martha, sorry?
I was wrong. It's halen. I knew I was mixing my languages. It's halen. Oh yes, Jen.
Oh, there you go. Daisy. And Jen. Hello, Jen. And Daisy. Lovely.
They
Diane.
know much more than I do.
There we go. This is what I love about languages, like halen. Eso es galés. Eso es galés. In castellano. And bueno, in eso es haline. Yeah, I just love the way everything is in, even language is interconnected, isn't it? It's amazing. So yes, you know what haline is then. It's to do with salt. Por supuesto, of course. Wrth gwrs, no, I think. Wrth gwrs in Welsh. So here, we have some water. Let's put this down. And here we have, what do we have?
Un huevo.
Un huevo. What's a huevo?
One egg.
We have an egg, exactly. And Marta's going to put the egg into the cold water. What's going to happen? The egg, of course, right? I'm sure you could have guessed that. It sank to the bottom. Now, Marta is going to add some halen. And what's going to happen when we put in halen? What's happening to the egg? And stir. Oh. So if you think about the oceans, are they salty or fresh water? I think we all know, right? They're salty. So what happens when the water is salty? Things rise, things float. So there we go. That's a simple experiment, which I'm sure you've done before, but it just shows how one way that water can move around the globe. And the next experiment, oh, fantastic. Woo! Well done, Martha. The next experiment Martha is going to do.
San, 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 san.
Exactly. What is she going to do? Da, 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 da. First of all, she has some
Water.
Is the water hot or cold?
Cold.
Yep.
Cold water.
Cold water. So she's putting cold water into the glass right to the top. And then
I
what
make
color is it going to be?
blue.
Very good.
Cold color. Color?
Yeah, cold color, cold water. Exactly. There we
Ay,
go.
no sé si lo ven.
Okay. So you can see it's moving really slowly. When the water is very cold, it moves really slowly. And now we're going to compare it to, what's Marta going to do now?
Hot water.
Now she's got some hot water.
Ooh, very hot.
Very, very hot. And what color is the hot water going to be, Marta?
Red. Red.
In
Mira.
Spanish? Or would you like to learn it in Welsh? Blue in Welsh, in Galés. Blue, glass.
Glass.
And red in Welsh is coch. Of course, I'm from Common School.
Cool. Come on.
So we have some glass and coch. Door glass, door coch. And if you notice how quickly the hot water is moving around, why is that happening, do you think? Do you think maybe the molecules are moving around really quickly because it's been heated up? And when you heat something up, you provide it with energy. Whereas this one is just a little bit like my cat, a bit dormant, a bit still, and there's not much going on. Now, Marta is going to show you what happens when you mix hot and cold water. So one thing, Marta, and if people can put their answers into the chat box, that would be great. Next to the equator on the globe, by the equator, Ecuador, al medio del mundo, is the water hot or cold? What do you think? Is the temperature hot or cold? Like in Ecuador, in
Hot.
yeah, exactly, it's hot. And then if you go to the North Pole, if you go to the extremes of the globe, is the water hot or cold?
Cold.
Yeah, really cold, exactly. Isn't she smart? She's on fire. So there we go. So we've got the hot water like at the equator, the cold water like in the North and South Pole, and also in Wales. Maybe. I wonder if you've been swimming in the sea. Thank you for your answers, Jen. I'm seeing them now. Brilliant. Very hot, very cold. Exactly. Nice. So what Marta is going to do is show us how maybe you've done this experiment at home, or you can do, but if you do it with your parents, don't do it on your own because hot water is hot. But it's going to show how the water changes when it heats up and it cools down when it moves around the globe. So here we go. Marta is on fire.
Son, 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 son.
Yeah.
Come on.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa.
What's going to happen? Is the water going to mix when she takes this card out? I wonder.
I must put
Is it going to mix? Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, come on.
So I've got Marta to do this because it's tricky. So don't do this on your own. Ooh, very good. So look, the water is trying to mix, but really, you can see that okay, right? The hot water is very much staying at the top and the cold water is very much going to the bottom. This is because the cold water, you saw when we put the color in before, right? It didn't move very much, the cold water. It's much denser. The molecules are much closer together. And that way it's forms like a foundation for the hot water, which is dancing around and it's all warm. And there's much more energy in the hot water. And that stays at the top. So there you go. Woo! Well done, Marta.
Bravo.
So let's have a think about how that. Thank you very much, Marta. Good work. Let's have a think about how that impacts on the water moving around the globe. Waters of the World, the name of the workshop, I believe. So, okay. Right. Now you can see my screen. I hope. Claire, let me know if you can't see the screen, but I think you can. So we've done the experiment. So you can see that it's really important that we're thinking about the waters moving around the globe, because if we drop plastic in Europe, or, well, you're not in Europe, if we drop plastic in Wales or in Spain, wherever we may be, it's going to end up somewhere else, because as this graph clearly shows, it's called the Great Ocean Conveyor Belt. So water cools down, then it heats up and it rises, warm, 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 then it cools down and it sinks. So it goes, it's called the global conveyor belt for a reason, because it's constantly moving. So why are there such mixed views about climate change? What do you think? I wonder. Marta, ¿qué piensas tú? ¿Por qué hay diferentes opiniones en climate change? Climate change? Cambio climático, creo. My Spanish is, not great. ¿Por qué? En tu opinión. Who knows?
No lo sé.
Maybe it's because that some people don't think climate change is really a thing. There are some people that think, I mean, it is true that the climate changes naturally, of course it does. But the thing that we know is that it's changing super fast. It's changing. If you look at graphs, the speed at which it's changing, that is not natural. It's clearly related to carbon emissions and anthropogenic human impact on the environment. And this is having such an impact. For example, viruses. We all know about viruses, don't we? So, and yeah, a virus, where did that come from? That's because humans and animals are really, they're getting closer and closer together. Not because the animals are necessarily coming closer to us, but because we're encroaching on their land. We're taking over their space on the planet. And so we're getting into contact with them and we're catching their diseases, their viruses, and vice versa, I'm sure. Okay, so climate change deniers is why isn't everybody trying to be kinder to the environment? That is a good question. I mean, I think most of us, maybe all of us present, are trying to do our bit, recycling, wearing clothes more. I mean, I think a lot of people learned this during the pandemic as well, no? That we had to not buy so much stuff. We need to recycle, reuse, reduce, reuse, recycle. I think we're all trying to do that, hopefully. And then why do we continue to buy cheap clothes, use crazy amounts of plastic, and eat far too much meat? Why? Sorry. I don't know. So let's have a think about these individual questions. Why do some people think climate change is not a thing? It's because there's so much information out there and it's often contradictory. You listen to one source and they say one thing. You listen to another source and they say something else. And you're like, well, who do I listen to? Who do I believe? And it's very true with the virus situation as well and the vaccinations. And some people take it, some people don't because they receive different information. And we need to address that, not just ignore it. We need to think about it and pay attention. And what are the consequences of there being such contradictory information? People don't listen and then they don't act. So that's not good. Then the second question we have is, why isn't everybody trying to be kinder to the environment? Not everybody cares. I personally like to think that most people care. ¿Te importa el medio ambiente?
Claro.
Yes,
Yes.
she cares. I care, and I'm sure you all care too. But not everybody cares, unfortunately. But no, I think the majority do. But not everybody is well informed. And when you're not well informed, you don't make the right choices. And not everybody can afford to opt for the environmentally friendly option as well. You know, if you buy organic food, it's much more expensive than non-organic food. So you have to bear that in mind too. So it's not only that people don't care, it's so often that they just can't. They can't participate even though they want to. And why do we continue to buy cheap clothes, use crazy amounts of plastic, and eat far too much meat? More and more people are becoming vegan, that is true, or having vegan tendencies in their diet, shall we say. But still, we're kind of brought up thinking that we have to eat meat. And there's also the idea of fast fashion, that we're instructed. We look in magazines, we hang out with people. We know that we get the impression that we should buy things, wear them, throw them away, buy something else, wear it again, throw it away again. And it's this constant fast fashion that is going on, which is not good. And yeah, it is often just easier and cheaper to buy a new one. You know, like buying clothes that are made on the other side of the planet, ironically, are often cheaper than buying things made where we live. It shouldn't be that way. Why is it that way? Probably because the people on the other side of the planet aren't paid very much. But these are the things that we need to learn. And that's why I think interconnectivity is so important, so we can learn about each other. And like I said before, we've been told to eat meat and that our bodies, then our bodies get used to it and then they crave it. Okay, so we're brought up thinking that it's normal to eat meat, so therefore we should, and then our bodies get used to it. And then we think that we have to have it. Same with coffee. I don't know if you drink coffee, but I notice that, people that are coffee drinkers, they have to have a coffee in the morning. I stopped drinking coffee about 20 years ago. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. But when I drank coffee, I thought I had to have a coffee every morning. It's a mindset, and then our bodies get used to it, is what I'm saying. But it's not actually what our body necessarily needs. So, who will take action in the future? Today's young people. And I imagine that's you. So this is what we're going to have a quick think about now. What can you do to help? So how many people are needed to make a difference? I hope you're shouting out the answers here. Everybody! We need everybody to make a difference. If we just have a few people with good intentions, that's not enough. We need everybody around the world to get in contact, to be in contact and to communicate with one another. Interconnectivity. And the waters moving around the globe is not a metaphor, because it's a massive it's a massive element that goes into this. Right, so how can we take action? That's what you're wondering, right? What can we do? What can we do, Master? I'm going to show you some environmental warrior projects. Okay, so these environmental warriors, hang on. Hopefully now you can see me and Martha. Hi.
Hello.
And now I'm going to show you STEM Ginger Education. So this is a project that I'm running around the globe, doing projects around the globe so that people are communicating with each other, so that we can try and address this problem of lack of interest, disconnect. We're just so disconnected from one another. Well, actually, I was about to say I'm wearing a kimono, but have I got any Japanese friends? Actually, I do have Japanese friends, so that's kind of nice. Brazilian, have I got any Brazilian friends? Not at the moment, but this was given by an old Brazilian friend. So yeah, the point is, I'm sure you've all got pen pals or people that you've spoken to, met on holiday, that you communicate with in different countries. So so I'm following instructions in Spanish, talking in English, bit confused, but I'm getting there. Okay, now I believe you can see my screen. Yes, you can. So I'm going to show you the STEM Ginger Education. If you go to this webpage, so stemgingereducation.com, and you go to the free STEM resources, and here we've got the Environmental Warrior Project. So I was just talking about the Environmental Warriors, and if you become an Environmental Warrior and do a project, that would just be amazing. And if you look at, you go to, where is it? No. Hang on, I'm just trying to find you some old projects. So here are instructions. You can have a flick through this if you're interested. The first thing you do is download your project. Then you submit your project. Then you have a forum where you can talk to people in all areas, different places around the globe, and you can look at past projects. The past projects we've had are the paraplastics, looking at how plastic interacts with the natural world. Is that a natural situation? I don't think so. Biodiversity, I think it's really important that we learn about and we enjoy the nature and the natural world around each and every one of us. Then WASH, which I want to show you in a moment, water accessibility, sanitation and hygiene. And then entomologists is a project looking at interesting insects. The project that is about to start, which I really hope that you can all get involved with, and I have some children in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in Canada, that are going to take part, also in England. And we're going to be thinking about noise pollution and the fact that during the pandemic, I think we all noticed, right, that it was so much quieter without all the airplanes flying. And so we're going to have a think about noise pollution in the next project. And then when you do a project, sí, gracias. Thank goodness for Marta. So then you go and your work is displayed online in the Environmental Warrior magazine, and we can see here different work that has been done by children in Tanzania. These were southern Spain, Cadiz in the south of Spain. This was Tanzania, and this Tanzania too. And then more in a previous project, we've got we're looking at endemic species. So the Iberian lynx is endemic to the Iberian Peninsula, which is Spain and Portugal, although this map, it doesn't look like there is an Iberian. ¿Está animal en Portugal? Sí, ¿no?
No, no está
¿Por qué?
por el mar.
¿Por el mar? ¿En qué sentido?
Él solo está en montañas.
Ah,
Only in
okay.
the mountains.
Yeah, okay. I was just asking, why isn't the Iberian lynx in Portugal? And it's because it doesn't like the sea, it likes the mountains. And of course, Portugal, it like Wales, surrounded by sea. Surrounded. All down one side, two sides, three sides. Okay, and more animals here. Iberian lynx. So if you take part in the Environmental Warrior Project, sorry. I don't know. I hope you could see that. I'm not really sure if you could. But anyway, you got an idea from what we were saying, right? And hopefully you can see me and Marta now.
We can see it. And I've put it in the chat as well for everybody to take a look at.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. Lovely. So if you all can take part in the next project about noise pollution, that would be wonderful. And then you can meet people in different countries around the world and talk to people, find out about how the noise is different in different countries around the world. And yeah, like learning about water and how the waters move around the globe, how plastic affects people in different countries was so informative. And if you go to the STEM Ginger Education webpage and have a look at the past projects, you can see. And I think if we're working in this together, because I really think that the problem here is disconnect. We're all like, climate change, recycle. So, well, that's one thing we can do, but there are many, many things we need to do. And I think a big thing that we need to do is connect and work together. And I think that might be it. I think we've flown through everything. Let me just check. Okay, let me just show you a couple more things and then we are done. Sorry. Where have you gone? I've lost you. Okay. Share my screen. Compartir pantalla is Spanish for share the screen. That's what I need to do. Compartir pantalla. Okay. So, we're thinking now about why we need to take action. This is what I've been saying. We're all in different situations, different cultures and different languages, but the same planet, the same seas, the same skies. I'm sure, like after this workshop, you can go and have a look around your houses and see how many things you can find from other countries, made in other countries, souvenirs that you bought maybe, but I'm sure you've got many, many things. Your mobile phone, your computer that you're looking at the moment, I'm sure most of it was made in other places. Okay, but we need to work globally because difference will only be felt if we all work together. So this disconnect, we need to bring us all together. And that's what the environmental warriors are doing, are bringing people together. Because the more that we learn and care about each other, the more we're going to think about the way that we're behaving. And we'll know that it's important that not to drop plastic, not just because it's on the street where we live, because it might end up on a beach. It probably will end up on a beach on the other side of the planet because of the thermohaline circulation. So I've said that's Ellen, Daisy, and Martha, and STEM Ginger Education. And yeah, if you would like to take a photo of that screen, but I think Claire's probably put things in the chat box. But there we go. That's some experiments to get you thinking about how it's not smooth. Okay, there we go. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. Lots for you to go away and do. And we've flown through everything there, but there we go. Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias.
Gracias, in Welsh, diolch. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch.
Yn,
Diolch. Now.
Mawr.
Well.
There we go. That's what it's like learning another language. It's a mission for us all. Or in Basque, in Euskera.
Okay.
Grazie mille. Grazie mille. That's Italian.
Mille sker.
Okay, there you go. That's Basque, where her hat is from.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. In Japanese?
Arigato.
Yeah, arigato. Arigato.
Arigato.
Bye.